Welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to talk about employee benefits and how, for some reason, people have started looking at them more as just strictly an expense and not an investment. And I think this really started when the government said and mandated that you had to offer health insurance. And I think at that point, employers kind of looked at that as something I have to do, not something that I want to do. Let's get into it. So, employers are missing the point if they're not looking at benefits as an investment. In order for your business to be successful, you need people. You need good people. You need them to be attracted to your company. You want them to come work for you. And most importantly, once they get there, you want them to stay, especially if they're doing a great job. You don't want them going somewhere else. And being able to offer good benefits as part of your compensation package is really going to give you that equal footing that you want, especially if you're competing with other people in your space or just other industries in general. And one of these things that I find that people really miss when it comes to this is that they're constantly looking at how expensive the benefits are. They're not focusing on what that return on investment is going to be. And when they stop looking at it as a total package offering, then it becomes very segmented. And it really is, if you think about it, part of an employee's compensation. I mean, as a matter of fact, a lot of companies do this well, where they give a total compensation statement, which not only shows their salary, but it shows all the cost of the benefits that the employer is contributing. And it just gives a much better picture of what that looks like. So think about this. When you are selling a product or a service, you're marketing yourselves extremely well. Well, when it comes to your own talent acquisition or people that want to come work for you, you want to be in that same mindset because you want people to be impressed with the company that they work for. So think about this. How many times have you been in a conversation with someone and they talk about their benefits and how great they are and how they hardly have to pay anything for them? Or when they go to the doctor, it doesn't cost a lot. Or when they hear someone else complaining, they're like, oh man, my benefits package is awesome. It doesn't cost me a lot of money. It's good coverage. When I need to be taken care of, it's great. Sometimes you hear that where somebody says, oh yeah, I've got great benefits, right? My wife or my husband, they work for the school district and those benefits are second to none. They brag about that. They are excited for the fact that they have something really, really good. So we know that this works. And the reason why it works well is because people feel more valued. They feel important when they're getting a great benefits package as part of their compensation. So the next thing I want to talk about is variety and choice. Sometimes people are just like, oh, I just want to offer this one thing or this one plan, or maybe I just want to do medical, dental, and vision. But really benefits are so much bigger than that. And the more choice, not an overwhelming amount of choice, but the more choice that you give someone when they're looking at it, the more impressive it is, because it shows that you've put some thought into making sure that you want to fit the needs of your employees or the talent that you're trying to attract or retain, because everybody's needs may be slightly different. And that may vary on a year-to-year basis, depending on what they have going on in their life. So you want to make sure that you have a robust offering and it's not something very simple. You want to be proud of your benefits offering. You want it to be a statement of who you are and what your company represents. And when that happens, you're going to start seeing that your employees are going to start acting differently. And I've seen this firsthand. When companies offer great benefits, they have a great culture, they're doing all the right things, their employees, their team is extremely excited to represent them. And you could see it when it comes out. So when you're selling your company's product, company's service, and people are going out and representing you and they feel like you're representing them well, they're going to be that much more excited, that much more confident in what they're selling to other people. Because when they're telling other people about your company or they're servicing your customers, they're going to have more confidence. They're going to have more gusto in the way that they represent you, the product, the service, because they feel taken care of. When someone isn't taken care of, you can tell. I mean, if you have customer service experience and you talk with somebody, you can tell when somebody has a bad attitude. And usually that's not because maybe they were a bad fit, possibly, but a lot of times it's because they're not happy. And if they're not happy, that's going to come out on their voice. That's going to come out in the way that they represent your company. And it's going to come out just because they're frustrated and people are going to be like, wow, that wasn't a really good experience for me as a customer. I don't know what's going on over there. And I think what ends up happening is that really turns people off. So why are you investing, all that money, right, in just salaries and hiring people and trying to get the talent to begin with if you're not going to follow through on the benefits package? It's a part of the total overall offering in compensation. And it will be more and more a topic of of conversation, especially since costs are going up and people are feeling like they're not being cared for. And when those things happen, you're not going to have a very happy team. You're not going to have a happy workforce. You're not going to have happy employees. And ultimately, they're not going to treat your customers well. So make the investment, weigh out the ROI. Just understand that if you have someone that's productive and that's doing a good job, how much is that worth to your company? How much is that going to enable you to grow? The other thing, when I talk about variety, is benefits are more than just medical, dental, and vision. Those are the staples, but 401k, you can look at it with, company life insurance, short-term, long-term disability. There's all these other benefits that are called ancillary benefits that people actually value and may be a better fit. So it's something that you want to offer and add to your package. And of course, you have training, coaching, mentorship. A lot of people don't put those classifications as a benefit, but it really is, right? Because if you're helping somebody get better and you're giving them more reason to grow, right? How much more of a benefit is that, right? How much more of an investment is something like that? And it's only going to help you because you're going to build loyalty with those team members because you're helping them develop. And ultimately, they're going to help your company grow because they're growing. You can also look beyond even those benefits. There's a lot of companies that have access, to these programs that have discounts, on cell phones or technology or amusement parks or travel. These packages can be added without a great deal of expense. Oftentimes, they don't really cost you anything to add to your portfolio, but it gives you so much more value because, maybe people don't use their medical benefits every day or their vision benefits or their dental or so on and so forth. But these are things that pertain to everyday life. So who doesn't want to get a discount? And what is the feeling that someone gets that I work at this company and they have access to this great program and, I saved a bunch of money because I was able to utilize those discount programs through my company. And again, that's just going to make your company look better. It's just going to look so much better to your team and it's going to make them feel good, which ultimately will have a more productive employee or team member. And when you have top talent that you're trying to attract, you better believe that they're going to be looking at these things. They're looking at everything. They're not just looking at the compensation. They're not just looking at the salary that you're willing to pay. They're looking at everything else. Even if they're not saying it, they want to see your package. They want to be impressed. They want to be wooed. They want to be courted. They want to see that when they come to this company, not only are they going to get paid, but their total compensation package looks great. So the last thing I want to talk about is a story I came across that really impressed me because this is actually in agriculture, and they came up with this really good idea. And they were on the coast, and their employees had to work 6 days a week during the season, which means they only had one day off, which is Sunday. And one of the things that they realized is that everybody's tired during the day. They still had to go home and take care of their families. And one of the things that they thought about was, gosh, when they get a day off on Sunday, they have to spend that, doing household chores, right? We all got to do them, laundry, cleaning up. And what a way to spend your day off to go home and work, right? That's not really ideal. So they came up with this idea of converting a semi-truck trailer, right, into a commercial washing and drying center. So the idea is they would actually go out to the field and people could bring their clothes and they would actually be able to have someone wash them, dry them, fold them, and put them in a bag. So when they were finished at work, they had that all done. And that was something that they came up with because they saw a need. How am I going to make my employees' lives better? How can I offer a benefit for this investment that's going to make it more productive for my employees to be able to enjoy their day off? Because if they have to work 6 days and then go home and work for the 7th day, they're really not going to be that productive on Monday. And it's just a lot of work. So this was a great example. Somebody that was willing to look beyond, just the regular benefits option and offering to look at something that would be a true benefit that was outside of the box. And it was absolutely amazing that somebody would put that level of thought into it and run the numbers. So just to wrap it up, again, benefits, they're an investment. It's also a reflection of your company. It's part of your total compensation package. It's one of the things that is going to be looked at, especially by top talent. They want to know what the whole picture looks like. So don't sell yourself short. You don't have to overdo it. There's a lot of ways where you don't have to spend absorbent amounts of money to make this look really, really good and to provide great value. So I encourage you to think about benefits in this way. Don't just look at it, how much it's going to cost. Look at the investment, and not only the investment return that you're going to get from a transactional standpoint, in revenue, but look at all the productivity that you're going to gather and all the culture that you're going to grow and help your employees develop, which ultimately will come back to you and the company and help you get to the next level. So if you're interested in learning more about some of these benefits options or strategies, drop a comment or send a direct message, and we'd be happy to set up a meeting with you, talk through some of these things. And if you found this episode helpful, share it with someone. Subscribe. You can find us on YouTube at HeyCharles Biz, Instagram and TikTok, HeyCharles77, and we're HeyCharles on Apple Podcasts. See you next time.